Live once again, we welcome you to Columbus in the Ohio State University. NCAA.com proudly presents the Men's Volleyball Championship. Our second semifinal features the Cougars of Brigham Young University versus the Flyers of Lewis. The winner gets Hawaii on Saturday, 8 Eastern time on ESPNU. Let's take a look at the updated bracket. Hawaii has moved on, hard-fought, 3-0 victory over University of California, Santa Barbara. Bottom of the bracket, number 2 versus number 3 seeds. BYU taking on Lewis. I'm Paul Sunderland, joined once again by my partner, All-American at Pepperdine and 2-time All-American Kevin Barnett. Got a volleyball match to look forward to, but a heavyweight fight might break out given the firepower on both of these teams. Very similar in style. What decides it? What differentiates these two fine teams?
Well, it might be the big right hand of Gabi Farcia Fenandez, and he has that huge international level right arm, the opposite for BYU. But it comes down to blocks for them, I think, as well. They can set the tone. They defeated Pepperdine in the MPSF tournament. It was 13 blocks to 0. And I think also they just need to worry about their side. Play your game. Don't worry so much about your opponent.
Gabi Farcia Fenandez, last year's National Player of the Year. And for Lewis, 21-2. They've won 12 in a row. Are they ready for this kind of moment?
I think they are. I think they have some really physical guys. They're another big, tall team. Remind me of a throwback to like Pepperdine in the middle 90s. For them, it's just pass and serve. Look, keep BYU off balance and pass on your side. It's pretty simple. And then transition swings to score. It's not a defensive-minded team. Dan Friend, head coach, said they're improving in that aspect of the game. So when you get fewer opportunities, it's all the more important you convert them for points.
Both of these teams absolutely loaded with weapons. We will decide our second finalists coming up on Saturday between the number 2 seed BYU Cougars and the Lewis Flyers. That's coming up next right here on NCAA.com. First up, look at the starting lineup for the 19-3 BYU Cougars. Zach Eschenberg on the outside, Farcia Fenandez, Davide Gardini going to be a big story. Gilberto Ferreira, one of the middle blockers. Mike Yohainan in the middle. Will Stanley, first-team All-American, and Mike Mitchell-Worthington will be the libero. For the Flyers, at 21-2 so far on the year, as mentioned, they have won a dozen matches in a row. Big lineup. There is Dan Friend in his 17th season, has done a fantastic job. Cole Brillheit plays at the opposite position. Kyle Bouget, Ryan Coonan, Tyler Mitchum, who had a fantastic match. And we are underway. We'll get through the rest of those starters. Bouget is slowed at least when we're underway. Nice play by Stanley. And a nice chop into the cross court, and the first score by number 5, Gabi Farcia Fenandez, 6'7" senior out of San Juan, Puerto Rico. Real international flavor on the BYU side. Wearing their white jerseys as the higher seed, they will be the home team.
Are you catching the theme of international talent here in the Final Four? Yeah.
One-on-one, that ball ripped down the line, but well wide. Kyle Bouget wearing number 21 in the black uniforms for the Flyers, 6'5", sophomore out of Cupertino, California.
Will Stanley with some nice defense there. That's going to be key. And there's the block of Lewis. That's Mitchum. Tyler Mitchum, what a development for this kid out of Bolingbrook, Illinois. One of the things Dan Friend has done a really nice job with is recruiting some talent from other places, but he recruits well at home. He has a lot of really top quality players from the Chicago area, from lower Wisconsin. You see Illinois kid after Illinois kid that he has kept home and developed into a national threat every year for the Lewis Flyers.
Mitchum, the 6'11" redshirt senior, had a magnificent match as they advanced into this semifinal with their win over Penn State. He was 14 of 20 with no errors, and to your point, from Bolingbrook, Illinois, and 3 times an All-American. Dan Friend said he was a little bit under the radar, a little bit rough around the edges, but he has become a world-class player. And that is a world-class serve. That is ace number 41 so far on the season.
In 23 23 matches now?
Now, barely 23.
Barely 23 matches. 70 miles an hour. Give you an idea. Clay Stanley, best server in the world in 2008, Olympic MVP, served between 70 and 74. That's what we're talking about when we say international arm. Another 70-mile-an-hour bullet.
First look at Ryan Coonan. Nice dig by Garcia. Both teams feeling each other out, and a good swing by Zach Eschenberg, 6'6" out of Newbury Park, California.
Yeah, he finishes it off, but a couple of really nice plays by Gabi there on his own service, playing that right back position. I'm really impressed with the handset. A couple years ago as a freshman, he didn't have that polish, that finish, that perfection of contact in all the other phases of the game to go along with this. Cannon.
That ball missed out of bounds, but a nice start certainly from the service line. Bouger back to serve. I took off a couple of years. Well, they're doing that because of COVID. He is actually a senior out of Cupertino, California. Boy, BYU is handling the ball very nicely. Felipe de Gilberto Ferreira out of the middle, 6'9" senior from Brazil.
Yeah, not only 6'9", but a big, thick 6'9", an imposing 6'9", much the way we just saw Patrick Gassman in the middle, 6'10", going 270-ish.
Had a huge semifinal performance, both offensively, but particularly blocking at the net. Unforced error. A very, very tough start right now for Bouger, but just underway. BYU out to the quick 7-2 lead.
Dan Friend pretty patient, but he's thinking about a timeout at 8-2. If that happens.
Only 2 points that the Flyers have scored. 2 out of the 3 have been on missed serves so far.
Asked Dan Friend, how battle-tested is your team? And he said, well, I'm not sure. The MIVA, the MIVA, if you prefer, has not been what it has been the last few years. And this season, it's down a little bit as that ball is just long. You think about Ohio State and Loyola, both of whom won back-to-back national titles, but that's been a number of years now. IPFW is still building. They did not get a terrific amount of top-shelf competition. This will be a real test for the Lewis Flyers.
Gilberto Ferreira goes back to serve after the miss by the Flyers. Lewis had a wonderful season, 21-2. That ball missed wildly. Their only losses were to Ohio State and to McHenry, talking about Lewis. For BYU, lost to UCLA twice and to Grand Canyon. So far, that is their resume.
Yeah, the last time they lost to the Bruins served 9 aces with just 12 errors. That will put a lot of pressure on you. You know, John Spraw's patience for service errors and service pressure is awfully high. And the offense of UCLA hit over 500 in 2 of the 4 sets in that match. A 3-1 victory for the Bruins.
There is Sean Olmstead in his 6th year as head coach of the men at BYU. Previously, an outstanding head coach for the women. His sister Heather has now taken over the duties of coaching the women. Had a good run through the NCAA tournament, but we should pause to admire that hammer off the right side.
I gave you karate chop off that one, Paul.
I'm going to need to ice my arm after that.
This is how Gabi has grown. Look, he plays that ball in the middle, the perfect footwork to the outside, and then it goes through the seam, but that is a high swing. That is between 10.5 and 11 feet. An annihilation. That is how he has grown as a player. The ability to make the play defensively he needed to make and get between phases of the game into swinging at the ball and putting it away for his side. Unreal, and BYU off to a dream start.
Obviously very early in this best 3 out of 5 set match. Kevin, we used the analogy of a boxing match. Okay, BYU has landed the first blow. What about a counterpunch from Lewis? Just doesn't seem to me that they're settled in.
Oh, I like they took the timeout as though it was a round. So you can go over, you can talk to your cut man, you know.
Where's Freddie Pacheco?
Yeah, exactly. Freddie Pacheco, you got to get the grease put on your eyebrows so you don't get a split. Just settle down. Just relax. 6 points, first set. So what? His team, Dan Friend's team, just needs to chill out, work their way back into their game.
And their game is top flight. They have beaten some good teams, and they are big and talented. We haven't even talked about Kevin Calling, their 6'8" sophomore setter out of Naperville, Illinois. Your old hometown.
Yeah, he might be the best player out of Naperville, Illinois. We'll have to put him in a contest. We'll see.
I think it's unquestionably he's the best player.
No, I think it's Keith Barnett.
Okay.
Keith Barnett's the best setter, I think, out of Naperville, Illinois.
Well, Calling is very good and a weapon at 6'8" as well.
No, he's terrific. Yeah, actually, Kevin is outstanding.
Here's Coonan. Davide Gardini dug for the first time. BYU scrambling effectively. Lewis trying to get something going in transition, and an unforced error there out of the middle. TJ Murray, 6'9" redshirt senior, missing that play. Davide Gardini. If you're a fan of volleyball back in the 90s and early 2000s, you know that Gardini is one of the legendary names in the sport. Father, a 3-time world champion during the golden age of Italian volleyball, also a 3-time Olympic medalist, 2 silvers and a bronze.
The gold has forever eluded Italy, including that greatest generation. At least Olympic gold.
Yep. 3 world championships in a row is pretty good.
It's unreal.
Usually a tougher tournament. And that's a nice response off the perimeter by Lewis. That put ball to the floor by Bouget.
And I don't know if Davide is a black belt, but his father is also a black belt in karate. And I thought a personal trainer. The first time I saw his dad, Marco Maioni, went down with a sprained ankle in the World Championships. Gardini rushes out to work on the ankle. I'm like, he's that amazing a volleyball player, and he's going to work on Marco's ankle?
Always had great hands.
Unbelievable.
His father is a wonderful man, now coaching in the Polish League. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't his team win the Polish League this year?
That is the report out of Poland.
Yeah, and that's one of the top professional leagues in the country. Sean Olmstead told us a very interesting story about how Davide, the son, obviously, of Andrea, found his way to Provo, Utah. Kind of a long story, so we'll weave it in there. It was back in 2008. Andrea Anastasi and Andrea Gardini were the head and assistant coaches in 2008 in Beijing, and they found their way to BYU, to Sean Olmstead, and to Carl McGowan in Provo, Utah. And at that time, of course, Davide was just a very, very young man. But the connection was blossomed there, and it held later on. And you can finish in the details because it's really an interesting story. First team All-American now for Gardini.
Yeah, they took him to a Utah versus BYU football game, and that impression kind of stuck. So the opportunity to come to America and play for Sean Olmstead, just another one of the exceptional human beings who's coaching on the men's side.
Yep.
There's a little 1-foot takeoff, backslide-ish.
And what a magnificent pass. Set that up after a rocket from Farcia Fenandez. A beautiful pass by Carlos Jimenez, the outstanding libero for Ryder.
We all know that Dan Friend is a friend to everyone. It's just how it is. But he's as good a guy as you will find, both of these coaches, in the game or any game, in terms of men and how they treat their young athletes.
That ball flailed out of bounds by Eschenberg, 6'6" grad student out of Southern California. His wife Kennedy plays on the outstanding women's team for the Cougars. Been a lot of volleyball in the last 5 or 6 weeks. The women's tournament was just held in Omaha and reduced to 48 teams. An outstanding tournament won by Kentucky. So congratulations to the Wildcats for winning their first ever championship. And that championship is usually held in the 3rd weekend in December, but pushed back because of COVID.
I've enjoyed this spring of volleyball. I really have. I think it's an argument for having men's and women's indoor on top of each other and finishing with an April, May of championships indoor and out.
After the Final Four in college basketball, get a nice little focus. Yeah, before the NBA playoffs start. Yeah, not a bad idea.
Probably won't happen ever, but I'm in favor of it. John Cook is in favor of it. Head coach at Nebraska on the women's side.
14-10 now. It has been all BYU so far. Lewis called an early timeout, trailing 10-4, and here is Mitchum once again.
Yeah, Lewis has gotten settled down a little bit. They've gotten some momentum. Overpass.
Yep, tap straight to the floor by Coonan. Ryan Coonan, listed in the promotional materials for Lewis as a 5-time All-American. Let's just, because he's been, because of COVID, he got an extra year, so congratulations to him. But let's just say back-to-back first-team All-American performances, so congratulations to Coonan, 6'9" senior out of Franklin, Wisconsin.
Yeah, and reminding me a bit of Aaron Russell, who shocked to stardom with the USA men. And word has it we're not going to see him this summer. I hope that is not true, but the same sort of frame. I remember Aaron Russell, middle of his senior season at USC, kind of breaking a new level, and Coonan has done some of that this year for Lewis. I think he really has a frame and a game that could go international and maybe national team. Yeah, he looks the part, and he's got a really big arm. They need it in transition. Gilberto Ferreira serving. A lot of service errors. We'll give you those numbers in a second. Plays like that.
Right on cue. Yeah, that's a nice quick swing.
Yeah, I mean, he passed the ball low, controlled, and then that swing to the outside. To be that mobile at that size, he's got a little bit of filling in to do, but you're talking about anybody who's got to fill in a little bit for the international game. Kid has a future.
Boy, that's a nice set to the outside. Really good delivery. We haven't mentioned his name yet. Will Stanley, 6'4" graduate, wearing number 3 in white, first-team All-American once again. And speaking of volleyball families, Will and John Stanley Jr. on this team. They are the stepbrothers for Clay Stanley, who was MVP, 3-time Olympian for Clay Stanley, MVP at the 2008 Olympic Games when the United States won gold. His father is a 2-time Olympian and a member of the International Volleyball Hall of Fame. But other than that, the Stanleys haven't done much.
Yeah, I remember Clay coming to watch Will when he was a senior, coming out to California to watch some of his juniors tournaments. And Will, just like his stepbrother, has a powerful jump serve. And with him at one side and then Gabi at the other side, opposite one another, every 3 rotations, you're getting a heater.
Give you the numbers on the Flyers serving. I would call them woes so far. Nice dig by Stanley and kept alive by Eschenberg. Nice smart tap down the line once again by Coonan. Kevin, 7 service errors already for the Flyers.
They feel like they have to get after it, much the way Santa Barbara knew they had to get after it against Hawaii. I think the feeling is definitely there for Lewis. You're going to have to rein that in, though, because you have no aces. That's a lot of free points for a team like BYU. And you're still within 4.
Yep.
You're still very much in the set.
Yep. But if they dig a ball, they need to get in transition. No question about that. Here's Coonan. Gardini, I don't know if he missed his timing or just waited until the block was on the way down.
He's early. He's too early. Fortunately, he's 6'9". And fortunately, that play's legal now. Yes. 10 years ago, that's 100% illegal.
Yeah, just throwing it too much. Out of Ravenna, Italy. Hitting 340 so far in the year, averaging just over 3 kills per set. 31 aces on the season.
Yeah, 340 is a nice number.
Oh, that's a nice swing. Kept alive. Gardini, be careful back there on the carpet. You want to get a rug burn. That's a nice response. Lewis has certainly smoothed things out. TJ Murray once again with a kill.
Great call by you. Response in that play, but response overall from Lewis. They absorbed that first blow. They went to the corner. Vinny Pacheco had some good words for him. Maybe Apollo Creed was in the corner for this fight and said, listen, take it easy, take a breath, get back. You're in this, and they certainly are. Oh, no, they're playing at a smooth, high level that they've shown all season long, and that ball hit out of bounds by Mikki Johiainen, the 6'9" graduate student out of Tampere, Finland. (18-15). BYU led it 10-4. They've been sort of comfortably ahead throughout. Going back to serve once again is Murray. Alec Leonard has checked in to
thank
serve,
you, Kevin.
number 10. And with that ink, he could play for Hawaii.
He could. Overpass. And that's going to be another point. Once again, Mitchum pretty intimidating right there on it.
He gets lucky on this play, though. He has to hit that thing.
Yep.
You must hit that ball. You can't just redirect it and give them a shot. Get up there and beat that thing. Take a full jump and clobber it.
Timeout now called by BYU, and a response definitely indeed for the Flyers of Lewis. Back Illinois is the hometown of the Lewis Flyers, not exactly as far as Honolulu, Hawaii. A lot of Hawaii fans for the first semifinal, which they won 3 sets to none. Back with Kevin Barnett, Paul Santos.
If you don't know where Romeoville is located, it is in the Chicago suburbs, about 45 minutes outside of town. If you're familiar with the Blues Brothers, if you're my age or older, then the Joliet prison is up the road. I grew up in Lockport, which is a stone's throw across the river, across the canal from Lewis University until 5th grade. An outlying suburb.
That was an outline shank pass that time by Gardini. And look at this. Lewis is back within 1 after trailing 10-4 to start this match.
Yeah, they punch right back.
Leonard doing a nice job. Jump float, 6'8", 200-pound redshirt sophomore out of Lake Grove, New York. Good pass. That was really a good response by Michael Worthington, 5'8" junior libero out of Mesa, Arizona, wearing the blue jersey for BYU. th appearance all-time in the NCAA tournament for BYU. 4 times a runner-up, most recently in 2016 and 17. Also won 3 championships. Mitchum, boy, that's a high contact point.
And I like the matchup whenever it's a good pass, especially tight to Mitchum. I would just feed him the whole time. I have no qualms about setting him no matter what the opposition is doing, because that's over anybody.
2 blockers right in front of him, and like you said, he went right over the top. 19-18. Colin McClintock now on to serve, wearing number 23 in BYU. With a gap, comes right back after the pass. It looks like Lewis has taken a little bit off from the service line right now after all of those early errors, and it served him well.
Oh, not taking anything off from the service line is Gabi Farcia Fenandez. Here he comes. And you remember last time, look at Lewis. They're on the back line. They are standing along the back line with 4. I would cut it right now. All day, cut it.
There is a ton of real estate in front of the receivers. He was trying to cut that one down in front. And again, Mitchum putting that ball quickly to the floor, registers another kill. He's off to a nice start.
So the last 2 times Farcia Fenandez has gone back to serve, Lewis has sided out on the first ball. They have gotten themselves right out of that rotation. Remember, they got stuck there on the first time in the first rotation for number 5.
The 2 big offensive weapons for the Flyers, Mitchum and Kunin, off to a very good start. 8 of 14 combined with no errors. 8 service errors so far for the Flyers. They trail it 21-19. Out to Gardini. Another slam dunk right over the top, touch off the edge of the block.
Gardini reminds me a lot in body type of Sean Rudy, who was National Player of the Year, National Championship for Pepperdine, and a gold medalist in 2008. Just the figure of them is the same, and I wonder, will Davide Gardini have a very similar trajectory and career for, in this case, the Italian national team, as Sean Rooney did for the USA national team.
Well, we shall wait and see. He will be off to the VNL roster and training camp.
We won't wait long.
No, the VNL this year will be held in a bubble for both the men and the women. VNL, if you're not familiar, Volleyball Nations League, used to be the old World League and the old Grand Prix on the women's side. All of it will be held, both men and women, in Rimini, Italy. That is the only lead-up competition to the Tokyo Olympic Games coming, and Davide Gardini will at least have an opportunity to make that team for Italy.
If you're going to be in a bubble, make my bubble Rimini, please. A beautiful coastal town south of Venice, north of Ancona.
It's a
on the Adriatic side of Italy.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful stretch of the world, and a nice play and response right now for BYU. They had their lead cut to 1 on a couple of occasions, and now on top in this opening set. Once again, best 3 out of 5, 22-19. Gardini 3 kills on 5 swings. Farcia Fenandez 3 of 4. Right now BYU hitting 389. Good offense after a slow start from the Flyers, hitting 333. BYU has the 2nd ranked offense in the country. Oh, good serve. That one cut down in front by Eschenberg. Short serve again. Oh, that's a nice response. Kunin, very nice timing and good execution at the offensive end, calling with a nice delivery. Mitchum taking his time. 1 ace for Lewis so far against 8 errors.
Very close to being over.
Yeah, very, very close. But Gabi Farcia Fenandez gets BYU to set point. Nice pass. That was a really tough opportunity. Really good response. Calling with a good aggressive delivery into the middle after a good pass by Kunin down the line, saving 1 set point.
Good work done here by Lewis throughout this set. They are back into the match.
Hitting 385. 1-on-1. Gardini dug nicely that time by Jimenez. Oh, that's such a smart shot. Bouger looked, timed, measured, and almost off speed, but nicely done off the top of the block.
Sometimes you just need to recycle a ball in a smart way, and he gets a fortunate bounce there, but off a smart shot.
Set point number 3. And a service error. That's been the story of the opening set. BYU takes it. They got out quickly, Kevin. 10-4. I thought Lewis really responded nicely. They've given themselves a lot to look forward to. I think we're going to settle in and be here for a while. 2nd semifinal. Hawaii has already moved on. They will play the winner of this on Saturday on ESPNU. We'll be back with the 2nd set in Columbus, Ohio.
Back at the Ohio State University, BYU up 1-0. Gabi Farcia Fenandez, a huge presence for the Cougars over the last few years. And in the first set of this national semifinal, 4 of 5, hitting 600 with an ace, several other rips from the service line. And often you talk about balance for a player, and can you find balance for Gabi Farcia Fenandez? That was his best swing right there, with all the defensive responsibility and then the offense behind it. But you may not need it. Sometimes you just want your star player to go off, and that'll be fine. So if he's going to hit 600, BYU is going to win this match, and they're going to punch their ticket to another national championship being held at Ohio State. They have some demons they need to exercise.
Well, runners up in 16 and 17. The most recent loss was to Ohio State. NCAA champions in 1999 and 2001 and 2004.
Yeah, 99, you're going all the way back to the Ryan Millar era. Ryan Millar, another one of those 2008 gold medalists for Team USA.
We look at the Olympians from BYU. Taylor Sander, Ryan Millar, who you mentioned, Rich Lamborn, who was the libero in 2008. Happy birthday, Rich.
Happy birthday, Richie USA.
And John Stanley, the father to Will and John and to Clay, also played. Russell Holmes, also an Olympian in 2012. So some awfully rich tradition up in the Wasatch Mountains. Start of the second set, BYU won the opener 25-22. They had a big early lead, but Lewis really settled down nicely. Eschenberg, high flat off the top of the block. Eschenberg had a nice season, Kevin. I'm just reminding myself of his numbers. He hit 324. That's really good production for number 11 in white.
It's kind of that prototypical outside hitter, 6'6", good build. Nice arm.
Yohiainen back to serve. Oh, that's a good delivery. Boy, I like these two setters. I like the setters that we've seen all the way around. McGarry for Santa Barbara and Tele for Hawaii in the opening match. Tele in particular.
Back to the line for Lewis. Now goes Cole Brilhart, the pocket opposite.
Please explain.
He's 6'1", playing opposite D1. And doing a great job. Henceforth known as the pocket opposite. Put him in your pocket, go win some matches.
He's a PO. They don't rely on him much for offense. He only took 6 swings in their match in the quarterfinals, but he's out there because he is a really, really outstanding all-around volleyball player.
Yeah, he'll step into pass from that opposite position.
Yeah.
You run a hybrid system.
Oh, that is just a rip. Give me some MPHs.
Wow, that's not MPHs right there.
57.
Yeah, well, that's not right either. 75, 69, 109. I saw a variety of numbers.
It's flickering.
He has blown the machine up, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. Second ace. You mentioned his kills and his efficiency. Also has 3 digs, so he's playing at both ends. Quick early lead once again for BYU.
More defense from Gabi.
As evidenced by that, and Gardini sprays that one long, trying to find some hands for the Flyers of Lewis.
I'll take that swing, though. I like that from Davide Gardini. I want your hitters to do that. I'm sick of free balls and being conservative. That thing has popped up and you can get an approach, fire away.
Here's Bouget, who settled in after a tough start. Now 3 of 8. Pretty good numbers. He was 0 for 2 to start, so climbing his way back up. Great pass. Oh, look at that. What a rip. That ball hanging in was Carlos Jimenez, the libero for Lewis. But wow.
Yeah, that's just heat that you don't get in even good college players.
6'7". He doesn't look 6'7" to me. He's so well put together and so athletic. I've already seen that at the defensive end as well.
Puerto Rican national team's about to get better.
Good contact by Gardini. One hand slam dink. This with both. A smart throwdown. If the officials are going to let that go, you take full advantage.
Yeah, again, totally legal nowadays.
Yeah.
Think of James Shaw, played for Stanford. He would do it on the second contact at the setter spot. I've seen it done a few other times, almost a straight down with 2 hands.
Very difficult to defend if there's any seam at all in the block. Service error, that was a huge story in the opening set when the Flyers dropped that set 25-22 and gave BYU, if you will, 9 free points, all on service errors.
The first American I remember throwing the ball with one hand, which is now very popular, jamming, if you want to characterize it by a single word, jamming the ball, was Taylor Sander.
Right. Jamming.
Yes.
We're jamming.
Yes.
Gilberto Ferreira back to serve. There's a throw down, but BYU has seen that an awful lot in their own gym. Good block again, that time by Stanley, and a net violation is going to be called against Coonan, number 9 in black for the Flyers. The lead in the opening set for BYU was 10-4. Now we're sitting at 7-3.
It's been less of an emotional carry and more of a slow build in this second set.
Service error there. BYU will give you their story. They've got 3 aces, and now that is their 6th error. Here is Collin, 6'8" sophomore setter. I was just about to say has a pretty dynamic serve himself. They played 23 matches. Has Lewis. He's got 17 aces so far on the year. Stanley for the Cougars.
There's a jam out in the middle.
We are throwing a party here. Like I said, Bob Marley, we are jamming. Nice play once again by TJ Murray. We'll look at his numbers. 3 of 5 so far. Both teams hitting at an exceptional clip. BYU 462 and the Flyers hitting at 406.
There's 1 block in the entire match.
Right, I just noticed that.
By this point, Hawaii had 10 in the previous match against UC Santa Barbara. And these are 2 of the top blocking teams in the nation.
Yeah, I was just about to look at their numbers. BYU averages 2.8 blocks per set, and even better, Lewis is 2.9, number 2 in the country.
Another ace served up. BYU is using a very similar formula from the service line as Hawaii did in our first matchup. 10-5 now, and another timeout called by Lewis.
10-4 in the opening set, 10-5 here in the second as BYU's lead was. Number 1 seed, University of Hawaii, has advanced to our championship match. That's coming up this Saturday, 8 Eastern on ESPNU. Will it be BYU, the number 2 overall seeds, champions of the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation, or Lewis coming out of the MIVA? Back with Kevin Barnett, All-American at Pepperdine, a 2-time Olympian. I'm Paul Sunderland. Gardini back to serve. And I want to go back and revisit one of your keys for Lewis, because it seems like it was serve and pass equals, and right now serve and pass is being won by Gardini and the Cougars.
Right, the equation has gone to the other side.
Pretty nice looking side out score once again by Bouger. He's responded nicely, averaging 2.8 kills per set, hitting 308. 8 kills on 18 swings in Lewis's win over the Penn State Nittany Lions on Tuesday in what was the quarterfinals.
Well, the unfortunate news for Lewis in the second set is, again, that they were doubled up at their first time out, but it was all different ways. Farcia Fenandez wasn't really doing the damage. It was Davide Gardini doing the damage. And there he is again. Actually, that's Eschenberg on the outside, but it's different ways that BYU is winning. They're winning with aces as well, 4 aces now. And so if you're Lewis, you're kind of responded to one method of attack, and now you're receiving another method of attack. You have to pivot and respond again. You're constantly on the defensive through a set and a half.
Ball set pretty tight. That ball rocketed over the top, looking for a touch. Will Stanley is saying, no, don't challenge. I'll tell you, Lewis was very smart. They got that first contact on the setter, Will Stanley, and then the off-setter set that ball way too tight that time for Gabi Farcia Fenandez.
I'll tell you, if Gabi gets his feet just a little bit closer and elevates, I think he kills that thing into the court.
Nice cover. Good hard work that time by Worthington, keeping the ball off the floor and right back at you by Brillhart.
If you had the over on the number of set kills, the net, see the woman at the cage and collect your money.
12-7 is the advantage here.
Because here's another one.
Yep. Yep. They don't ask you how. Well, that's a break for Lewis. They've been siding out. You pointed it out that they had sided out with Farcia Fenandez serving, kept him off the line.
Yeah, well, last time you remember he got one ace, but then Lewis was able to get out of there.
Oh, that's tough. That's an unforced error by Cullen. Not a bad idea. A wry smile, but that was a very important missed opportunity. Clearly a 2-point switch. Could have been 12-9 as Eschenberg goes back to the line for the Cougars of BYU. Mitchum again. He is an impressive weapon out of the middle. If they can pass a little bit better and get him a number of opportunities. Hitting 489 so far on the year. 1.3 blocks.
And that's just right over Ferrer. Right over him. He was there. That's a good looking block.
Does not have the toughest jump serve or the toughest float serve right now.
I'd love to see him develop a jump serve. With his length, I mean, you can see him swing at the net, but it is rare that middles have big jump serves.
Yeah, I noticed it right
Wildly rare.
Yeah, yeah. Why is that, Kevin?
I think because it's such a small window they work in. They get their arm ready and they snap the ball around a lot rather than the big wind up and swing.
Good serve down the line, and Yohainen right there to tap it down. That nice work done from the service line by Gilberto Ferrer.
The mechanics that are necessary for a powerful jump serve are not the mechanics that are used by middle blockers in attack.
I agree with that.
The mechanics are used by outside hitters and opposites in attack that are used at the service line.
Longer approach, long run up.
Big high ball.
Yep, yep, I agree.
Just as I say that, there's a near ace from a middle blocker.
Smart shot up into the block, restart the point. Boy, that ball, wow, what a block. And that was on Coonan, the 6'9" outside hitter, but what a stuff that time by BYU.
And this was a good idea of a shot here. Coonan goes up, this ball's tight. And he tries to kind of wipe it sideways, but it just gets caught in all those hands that are up high.
Yohainen and Gardini and Eschenberg there as well. That was, I agree with you, Kev. That was not a terribly thought out swing. That was just a better block.
No, yeah, it's Will Stanley up there in the right front.
And back-to-back misses that time again by Farcia Fenandez. Conversation between Sean Olmstead and the second referee. We may have our first challenge. Maybe Coach Olmstead thinking that there might have been a net violation earlier on in that rally. But no challenge. Each team with 3 challenges, and unlike in the women's game, you just saw that tournament. In the women's NCAA rules, if you use a challenge, you have used it and have it no longer, no matter the result. In the men's game, nice play by Eschenberg. In the men's game, if you are proven correct, you keep it. So you basically, like internationally, have an infinite number of challenges.
I'm enjoying watching Will Stanley work. Gabi Farcia Fenandez. Talk him up all you want. Great player. 8 attempts. Eschenberg, 9 attempts. Davide Gardini, 9 attempts. 5 attempts for the other middle, Yohayanen. So this is a setter utilizing all of his weapons to the benefit of his team.
That's a great point. Will Stanley, a first-team All-American, coming from a magnificent volleyball family and tradition, and the coaching staff, the Olmsted family, the Olmsted clan, isn't bad either. Timeout taken. BYU leading 18-10. BYU hitting at 429, and they're hitting 467 in the second set, whereas Lewis has dropped significantly, hitting over 400 in the first, down to 167 here in the second.
Yeah, both of these head coaches have terrific coaching families. When you look at Sean Olmsted, coached the women, then went over to the men. His sister coaches the women at BYU to much success. And on the other side, Dan Friend, his wife Laura Lee, coaches
the women
at Lewis.
Yep, family affair. And Rick Olmsted, of course, longtime coach in Santa Barbara. He's Karts-Kurai's high school coach and longtime referee. These families just absolutely dedicated to the sport and having a lot of success. Heather Olmsted was National Coach of the Year a couple of years ago when
Indeed.
she took her Cougars to the national semifinals.
Yeah, I knew Rick Olmsted as a referee during my time of playing.
I'm sure you were good buddies.
Well, I still have several yellow cards from him at my house. Thank you, Rick.
Hawaii waiting in the wings. Winner earlier today over a very game UC Santa Barbara. Boy, speaking of how tough they were, Santa Barbara made a couple of unbelievable saves, sprinting all over the building here at the Covelli Center. And somebody from Ohio State came up to us afterwards and said, it's a good thing we have to have these precautions. So all the bleachers are pushed up against the wall. Santa Barbara needed all that real estate to keep the ball off of the floor.
It's a great point. It has provided some terrific runs to the edges.
Yeah, coming out of the timeout. Here is Stanley once again. 18-10 advantage. Good block touch in the middle by Yohayanen. Oh, what a smack into the cross court by Coonan. Ryan Coonan, back-to-back first-team All-American honors, 4.4 kills per set, 347 so far on the year. Big numbers.
I talked about Cole Brilhart at the opposite position. He has not gotten a set yet. So you really need a lot out of number 9.
That was a very tight set, maybe an opportunity, but Bouger could not get over to make the play defensively. Yeah, that's a missed opportunity there for Lewis. You could tell right away that Farcia Fenandez was not going to take a whack at that. Gardini trying to go off speed.
No, it's a bad toss. He threw that thing too low and too forward in front of him and just tried to do something with it. There wasn't a lot to do with that. That's when you blame your setter. Yourself.
You're in complete control of that skill. TJ Murray, middle blocker, back to serve now for Lewis, trailing by 7, already down 1-0. Oh, that's such a smart swing. Number 5 just changing direction just a little bit. Keaton Long, 6'5" freshman out of Plano, Texas, wearing number 16 on the floor now in the right front for Lewis. Service error by Yohayanen. The pace of this second set is slowed just a little bit. A couple of service errors, a couple of untimely miscues.
Now BYU's kind of been in control. I think that's flattened out the emotion in the building.
Yeah. Oh, nice pass by Worthington. That was a, oh! Wow, wow. Sport court damage.
He is the real deal. Watch how patient he is here. I mean, one-on-one, this should be a win every single time. That swing right there, his body language reminds me of George Romaine. One of the largest mammals ever to play volleyball.
Well, it's a good swing. Really nice response. Bouget has been impressive, and again, his numbers, I know it was a small sample size, but he got off to a little bit of a slow start. Since then, he has been fantastic. 5 of 11, almost hitting 270, well, almost hitting 300 now for Dan Friend. 2019 into the semifinals at Long Beach was Lewis then. They ended up finishing. They don't play it out. They finished officially tied for 3rd. Garcia again. Oh, it's rejected. Mitchum again. Boy, he has been really good.
Question is, can you turn it into some emotion for your side? Typically in a close match, that's a big momentum shifter. But at 21-15, not a lot to be carried from it.
Yeah, and I don't know if you want to wag your finger a la Dikembe Mutombo at 20-15, and that ball hit out of bounds.
It's my favorite Geico commercial right now.
The BYU bullpen is having a lot of fun right now. That time, unfortunately, at the expense of the Flyers of Lewis, as that overpass was hit out of bounds. 22-15. Eschenberg's been really solid. Shank pass. Calling cannot keep that ball alive, and now BYU just 2 points away from a big advantage.
If you remember back to those Ohio State losses for BYU in the finals, it was the same story both times. They could not pass the ball. They were passing the ball backwards and got run out the gym. Well, that is a role reversal for the moment against Lewis in this national semifinal.
Those were a couple of really, really good Ohio State teams. Nice block out of the middle, working against Mitchum. And Coonan is rejected. Jabrito Ferreira with the stuff wearing number 16 in white. Set points now for BYU to take a commanding lead. Lewis just 6 for 20 here with 5 errors in the second set. Coonan going off speed, rejected again. Back-to-back stuffs, Kevin, by BYU.
Through 2 sets, there's a Cougar that right now is choking on a scarf. Someone help him out because he's eating the Flyer. My goodness, what a powerful performance through 2. It's up to BYU now to finish it off in the 3rd. They've done it every which way. Powerful serving, aces, and now picking up the block game at the very end of this.
Back live in Columbus, the Ohio State University NCAA.com, proudly presenting the men's volleyball championship. Look at the updated bracket, mentioned it. Hawaii, congratulations, moving on to the championship match. A hard-fought, albeit 3-0 victory over University of California, Santa Barbara. And they are the #1 seeds. They are in the championship match coming up Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPNU. And right now, it looks like it will be #1 versus #2. And so the question, obviously, Kevin, is how do the Flyers turn it around? It's a team with a lot of weapons, but right now they're being outplayed just about every phase.
Yeah, you're going to have to find a way to get your footing. You're going to have to put some service pressure on BYU. Thus far, you have done nothing to pressure BYU into any sort of destabilization. So I'd start with that, but you have to manage that with all the misses, right? They've had far too many misses in their service game, and that's been an issue from the very start. 13 service errors, just 1 ace. BYU 5 aces on 9 errors, and never mind a whole bunch of passes that are 35 feet in the air.
Yep. That has been the story so far. Remember the opening set where BYU got out to the quick start. Lewis found their footing, got right back into it, but they missed 9 serves in that opening set and lost it only 25-22. It was all BYU in the second, out to a 10-5 lead, and closed out the Flyers of Lewis 25-15. And Mitchum now has blocked 3 straight blocks by number 16 in white.
The unusual thing about this match was we were all the way through the first set and there was 1 block going on. We're talking about top blocking
Hawaii
teams.
already took them all.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They had a limited supply at Ohio State. But now BYU is really asserting themselves with some good reads at the net. 5 blocks.
And a quick back-to-back hitting errors. This time number 16 coming on the floor replacing Brillhart is number 16 Keaton Long. As I mentioned, 6'5", freshman out of Plano, Texas. Big moment for the freshman. Why would Dan Friend make that particular substitution?
Because you have to find some offense from somewhere, and Brillhart is not where it's coming from. You weren't using him at all. So you have to change what you're doing. Can you continue to pass well enough to play a freshman opposite that you're not going to get any passing out of? So it's up to your outside hitters to pass the ball now. It's up to Bujay and number 9, Kunin, to take care of that alongside your libero.
Bouger has been pretty good offensively, 6 of 12, hitting .333. Kunin struggling a little bit, 6 kills, but he's got 4 errors on 18 swings. That ball hit well long, and Lewis, we're tied at 2. And speaking of 2s, BYU up 2-0 as the number 2 seed. That is such a good swing. That ball was pretty tight. Eschenberg just went way up in the night to get it.
How about the fling from Will Stanley?
Yeah. Will Stanley has been very impressive. You talked about how he was distributing the ball and sharing the wealth. That's a really good quality swing.
Yeah, he located that thing from 30 feet.
Farcia Fenandez back to serve, looking to add to his total already with a pair of aces. Oh, great pass. Yeah, Mitchum on the slide.
We've seen 3 slides tonight. That is more back slides in men's volleyball than has been seen in 10 years.
I was going to say 30, but I'm always hyperbolic on it.
I was just careful to avoid Brad Keenan. He ran it all the time.
I liked it. I liked the play. Get it away from number 16 in white if you can. Eschenberg again. Give you his numbers. 7 kills on 12 swings. Hitting almost 500 for number 11 in white. As a matter of fact, hitting 500 on the dot.
Yeah, you're not able to slow anybody down right now. BYU is just running their offense at will. And Will Stanley feels like it doesn't matter where he goes, he's pretty confident it's going to be put away.
Gardini is stuffed. 3-man block out of the middle. Mitchum there with some help from Collin. Mitchum with his 3rd block, 7 of 12 so far. He too hitting 500. Oh, that's a smart shot. Little reverse flip over the top. Nicely done that time by Will Stanley. Kind of doing it all. His counterpart Collin very, very good as well. It's just a really good read. Both teams passing the ball pretty darn well right now, Kev.
Yeah, 5-4. I like the start for the Flyers.
It's the first time they've been in contact early. Trailed 10-4 and 10-5 in the first 2 sets. Kunin, nice shot off the top of the block. It's a good matchup for them with Kunin going against Stanley.
Yeah, see if they can exploit that a little bit. See if they can get some production out of their opposite position and change the narrative in this match. And these colors are pretty familiar to a lot of volleyball fans, the black and red. There's going to be one less black and red team in the world of men's volleyball. Stanford cut their program about a year ago, a little less than a year ago, and told the coaches and players, sorry, you're going to play one more season and then you're done. I thought a really nice move by the players that they blacked out the Stanford logo on the front of the jersey as well as the back for their final match.
Oh, I did not see that.
That was a player's decision to do that to their jerseys.
And Stanford was not a middling program. This is a team that produced any number of players of the year, All-Americans, national
Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
They were in the national championship game as recently as 2014 against Loyola.
Yeah.
And I think given the situation over there at Stanford, an embarrassment to get rid of the men's volleyball team.
Yeah.
The women's team has won back-to-back national titles. And very sad to see them go.
Gardini able to tuck that ball down inside TJ Murray. Good offense once again by BYU, handling the ball well. Chance here for BYU and take full advantage. That's going to be a double contact. And I'm just looking back through. Stanford was runner-up in the NCAAs in 1989. They won a national championship in 1997, and you talked about, and then they were runners-up again in 2014.
They won in 2010 as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and any number of athletes from that program are on the national team. It's impossible to call that program unsuccessful when you're producing athletes that are Olympians representing your school. It's a question of priorities, and I think that athletic department is an embarrassment for what they did to men's volleyball. I mean, they cut programs that were fully endowed.
Yeah, yeah.
That's ridiculous. The program costs you nothing. What are you getting rid of?
Right. Thinking about Mike Lambert, great player for the United States. Gabe Gardner, Olympic gold medalist in 2008, also Stanford.
Matt Furbringer, four-time All-American.
The Shojis.
Shoji brothers. Currently on the national team, to be Olympians again in Tokyo this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice dig by Stanley, right on target, and that ball gaffed by Farcia Fenandez. Well, this has been by far the closest Lewis has been at this stage of either set. I mentioned previously 10-4 deficit in the opening set, 10-5 here in the second. Pipe combination and missed out of bounds. Gardini's missed a couple. He missed one hitting out of the left front, and this time out of the middle back. And this is the first lead of the match for Lewis.
A very similar situation to UC Santa Barbara in our first match.
Yep.
Everything to play for, nothing to lose, swing free, get after it.
Must-win situation, obviously, for Lewis.
Yeah, an interesting point with this floor. I'm seeing pressure dimples when the players are jumping. That is typically not something you get off of this surface. It is often laid on concrete, right on top of felt for many places. Here, it is flexing through to the bottom of the wooden floor.
Slide once again. Nice dig down the line by the libero Worthington. Up into the block, but cannot be controlled. Not a bad shot by Eschenberg, but better done by Tyler Mitchum.
Eschenberg looked like he stepped into a pressure dimple there. Went to jump and just didn't get off the ground at all.
Well, I've never heard the word pressure dimple before. I like that a lot, but how does that affect the play, if at all?
No, it's actually good. You get some spring out of the floor. If you think of old Maples Pavilion to bring up Stanford again, that place was like jumping on a trampoline.
Yeah. Yep. Service winner. Nicely done by Bouget again. Well, number 21 in black out of Cupertino, California. Coming in with 29 aces. Gets the service winner here. And for the first time, some real pressure on BYU. Oh, Boucher got to do better with it than that. Went deep into his hands. Garcia again. Slowed it once. They had the blockers there, Kevin, but couldn't get the job done.
No, and it's a tough ask. And the problem is you can't just focus on him because you have Zach Eschenberg hitting 385. You have Gardini. That's the only guy you've really gotten to at 071. So that's one thing. But then the middles are both hitting over 500. Often you can focus in on somebody, slow them down, and then you can kind of take care of some other people. Right now you have too many people who are going off.
Kunin going high flat. The official in the far corner. All the officials got it. That is a very, very good swing. Kunin now 8 kills, 21 swings to get there. Not a very good efficiency at only 190, way below his season average of 347. Nice offense. Pass and kill by Gardini.
And a great call by you. Nice offense. All right, that's how you do it, right? Pass right into the approach and then hit those lines. Because even if you don't get the ball to pass down the line, you're going to catch an outside hand there. And it's going to chisel out. No chance for the defense to pick that one up if you do catch the hand at the net.
Good touch that time by Gardini, and throws the ball smartly off the block. That is an experienced play, and he has played an awful lot of high-level junior youth volleyball, U21 for Italy. We're learning earlier today about some of the extensive training he's gotten with the fine international program and development program in Italy.
Many out. Many out.
Now we are going to have a challenge. Potential net violation against Gardini. I did not see anything of the sort. I thought it was a really good play.
That is Keith Merlis down there. I thought he had a hat permanently attached to his head.
Usually not advised.
No, I thought that thing was sewn in or something. You don't see Keith as a terrific beach referee.
No, there's nothing there.
No, there's nothing there.
Not even close.
Except a exceptional play.
Really smart shot. Really smart shot.
I had no idea Keith Merlis had hair on the top of his head.
We were talking earlier today to your old friend Giuseppe Vici, the developer of Data Volley. Been a great source of data and information for volleyball teams around the world at all kinds of levels. Since sold that company, and he is a volunteer assistant coach at BYU. There he is right there on the left of your screen, and told us about the training that the young players in Italy get, of which Davide Gardini has been a beneficiary, and now BYU.
Right, they'll take their under 21 team, their youth development teams, and they'll put them in A2 and have them actually play a schedule against the second division in Italy. He said they did it on both sides, but on the women's side, for a little while when Ugonu was young and a couple other very good players, they put him in A1, the developmental team.
The women's youth team in Italy was too good.
Yeah, really an excellent plan and way to leverage the league. Could you imagine if there was a USA basketball development team that played in the Western Division?
Right.
All right, boys, you got the Nuggets tomorrow. Then we're going to match up against the Lakers, followed by Dame and Portland. Yeah. Good luck over the next week.
Yeah, and then you get the Greek Freak and play in Milwaukee, or maybe go to New Jersey, and or Brooklyn, I should say. Here is Will Stanley, tied at 14. And that missed into the top of the tape. Serving And receiving always a huge story, and it's not just defined or exemplified by the misses and the service aces. We've come to the media timeout, third set. BYU on top, 2-0. But the Flyers with their well, been a very interesting season, of course, for all sports, and culminating with the 2021 NCAA Men's Volleyball Championships. Quarterfinals, UC Santa Barbara over Pepperdine, and UCSB falling to the #1 seed Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. And as you can see, the finals will be on ESPNU at 8 Eastern time, taking on the winner, either #2 seed BYU, currently with a 2-0 lead, or the Flyers from Lewis. With two-time Olympian Kevin Barnett, I'm Paul Sunderland. Thanks for joining us here on NCAA.com. Here's Coonan. Up into the block, offensive rebound, smart shot. And that ball might have been out of bounds. Coonan, though, with a nice save. Coonan out of the pipe, found an angle with a thumb down, but just ran out of real estate. Good eye that time by the libero Worthington.
BYU's working hard to get into those three-man blocks. And that was even Gabi Farcia Fenandez on the left, where he's not usually working hard to get over to that right side and get in front of the Lewis hitters. They got the touch that then generated the opportunity that was out of bounds.
There is Gardini, currently 8 of 17. Got one ace. Boy, that ball was set tight, but that was a nice quick arm swing once again by Keaton Long.
You wanted a spark. You wanted somebody you could get the ball to and spread BYU out a little bit. There you go. Not a ton of men's volleyball talent coming out of Texas. I'm happy to see that. So much women's volleyball talent is coming out of that state. You have to believe that if you could grow the game, you would have even more men.
Good pass. Eschenberg again. But Will Stanley, what a job he is doing, moving the ball around and making choices, Kevin.
Farcia Fenandez, 16 attempts. Gardini, 17. Eschenberg, 13. So that's all nice. They've lost the middle a bit. 11 total attempts by the middles combined. Remember, early in the match, it was a lot closer. They've gone to the pins more.
Makes it awfully hard on Lewis to defend.
Yeah, Lewis's passing's making it a little hard on him right now.
Ball still alive.
Dan Friend's not going to like that one.
No, it's a judgment call, though. Nice play down the line once again by Long.
Letting Bill Forrester know he doesn't like it, and now Keith Marlis.
Well, that ball was stuck down there. It was a sticky wicket down there for a while.
Yeah, I think that should have been called.
Yeah. Well, that's mostly where the second referee has got to help out, because the first referee kind of blocked on that play. And usually they'll do that. They'll give you a little signal. To your point, Kevin, getting back into the middle.
Yeah, I think you should if you're BYU. You're going to open up those pins just enough. So if you, over the next 5 points, get to 21, 22 territory, you can open that middle, play that middle a few more times. You'll open those pins up, and you will side your way out to win.
What a big, tied at 17. Remember this rotation right here. Going back to the line, one of the most dangerous servers in college volleyball. Can Lewis get out of this rotation? Yes, they can. Big play by Lewis in this third set.
Where did Eschenberg go? I don't even know why he's hanging out over there. Almost looked like he was past the referee stand. He got hit with that ball off the block when he should have been up on the block.
He should have been up on the block, absolutely. There is Bouget having a very nice semifinal for Lewis. Lewis, the #3 seeds. Chance for Lewis to extend the lead. Coonan trying to go high flat. Here's the additional room. Oh, and look at that. BYU almost overran it. What an effort by Gardini. Almost a full volleyball court length behind the playing floor.
Well, I like that the play is being allowed there. It's perfectly safe.
Yeah.
So what if it's carpet?
No, I agree. Timeout called by BYU. Once again, the Lewis Flyers carving out their only lead so far in the match earlier on, and now taking the 19-17 advantage. What areas mostly, Kevin, has Lewis improved upon here in the third to put some real pressure on BYU?
Well, you can start with Keaton Long. I mean, he's got 4 attempts, so you're spreading BYU out a little bit more. And Conan, Conan is hitting 200, but he's had some good swings as of late. They're also fighting off some of these serves. You know, they're giving up too many aces, but 5 aces, that goes back to the previous set.
Yep. Yeah, they have settled down, and Kevin Calling doing a nice job distributing the ball. Coonan, he's going to take a lot of sets anyway. I did the math before the tournament. He takes almost 10 swings per set, so it's not unusual for him to have this kind of activity. Additionally,
they got blocked early in this set.
Yeah.
Have not been blocked since, so you haven't been giving up points that way.
And I just have a feeling, and I'm looking at the numbers, Farcia Fenandez feels like he's cooled off a little bit. You know, he had a couple of tough swings.
Objectively, 294 is less than 600.
Yes.
Yeah, they've cut into it just a little bit.
His production, yeah. Lewis hitting .333 in this set, 15 points higher than BYU. Ball served just out of bounds coming out of the timeout. Eschenberg 8 for 15. He has 2 aces.
Yeah, both of them kind of short in front of the receivers.
Ace serve there.
Long.
Wow.
So they're expecting the short one, and he happens to hit one long.
Wow.
That spins down to the line.
Great handball contact. Look at the spin rate on this ball. Boom! Right on the end line. The libero Jimenez had no chance. That was perfectly placed. And comes back and misses that one. 20-19, must-win situation for Tyler Mitchum and the Flyers of Lewis. Mitchum taking all of the 10 seconds that he's allowed. Gardini almost jumped backwards on that play. I think the ball was in anyway, but got a touch off the defender.
And BYU pulled that ball right off the scoreboard. That thing was spinning down. And one of the points that was made by Sean Olmstead to us when we talked to him today, said back when they faced Ohio State in those back-to-back years and could not pass, he said we couldn't replicate that in our gym. We couldn't replicate Nick Scherzen in our gym. We couldn't replicate the opposite from Ohio State in our gym. And now they're the big serving team. So those receivers see those kinds of serves every single day.
Another bad toss that time, and a kind of an awkward miss by Gilberto Ferreira. And you asked Dan Friend, the outstanding head coach for the Lewis Flyers in his 17th year, given this year in the MIVA maybe being a little bit down from where it has been, where they battle tested enough to face this kind of serving and attacking as Gabi Farcia Fenandez registers another kill.
Yeah, and he said that was one of his concerns. He wasn't sure.
Well, what do you think so far?
No.
Stanley has been superb once again at the setting position, the first team All-American out of Honolulu. Good pass by Bouger. Woo! Boy, that ball, I was about to say ball set too tight, but got away with that one. Coonan absolutely crushing the ball down the line.
Now, one highlight film deserves another.
There was not much room down that line. I thought Gardini had stopped way short, but he was pretty close to in front. There wasn't a lot of room for Coonan, and he used every centimeter of it. Another big moment. Nice pass by Worthington. That ball can't be saved. Farcia Fenandez doing a nice job in row one, putting the ball away on the left side. Tied at 22.
Again, to the differences between men's and women's volleyball, you're allowed to pursue that ball in men's volleyball. They adhere to the international rule.
Right.
For some reason in women's volleyball, they deem it to be too dangerous. Do you think your athletes can't run in a controlled manner to some other portion of the gym?
I had never understood that.
That needs to be changed.
Yeah. Must-win set situation to stay alive for the Flyers of Lewis. Oh, are you kidding? Off the top of the tape. Wow, how lucky is that? Your Italian's better than mine. How do you say good luck in Italian?
In bocca al lupo.
Bocca al lupo.
No, in bocca al lupo.
In bocca al lupo.
In the mouth of the wolf. And if I tell you that, your response is crepe lupo. The wolf is already dead.
Right.
One of the great Italian phrases.
Wow, what a break for BYU. Now Lewis will have to respond. Just the first time out for Lewis. 23-22 is the advantage. Moments ago, Lewis had a lead by 2, and now they'll have to come out. 23-22, second semifinal. Hawaii has already advanced. Now it's time to see if Lewis can stay alive. BYU, 3-time NCAA champ in the national championship match as recently as 2016 and 17. And a very lucky serve for Gardini. Kunin out of the back row. And missed wide. The freshman looking for a touch, but a net violation. Wow. Keaton Long staying aggressive, giving Lewis some additional offense. And saves the day for the Flyers, tied at 23. Got to win by 2. Eschenberg is roofed. Keaton Long, number 16 in black, on the outside. The kid out of Plano, Texas. Set point now for Lewis.
Playing as large as the state of Texas right now, making a difference for his team. That is just a nice disciplined move. Take the angle, be over at just the right moment, and what a moment for a freshman. National semifinal to come in and do that, to put your team to a point to have an opportunity to stay alive.
Timeout called by BYU. They're out of timeouts. Lewis still has one remaining. The last national championship that was concluded was in 2019. Those championships were held at Long Beach State. Lewis was knocked out in the semifinals. They have been a really solid program for a number of years. But this, you think this is their best team of all time?
BYU?
No, Lewis.
Lewis? No, I don't think it's their best team of all time, because you're missing an opposite. Okay. And while Long has come in and done a nice job, I don't think you can give him that.
A glaring hole.
I mean, you go back to Ryan Millar's era, that team, that's probably the best team that they've ever had. Sorry, I'm now switching teams on you.
I'm following.
Yeah. No, I think Lewis is one opposite short of making this an epic match.
Yeah. Well, they're looking to extend it. Set point for Lewis. A swing to stay alive, and the ball is roofed.
And it's going to go BYU's way.
Oh,
everyone trying to stay where it should be.
Absolutely.
That was 2 bad sets in a row. Will Stanley left Fernandez at 6 feet off the net here. And in this set also got way too sticky towards the net.
Mika Johainen reaching deeply into the cross court, tied at 24. 1 set point saved. Eschenberg going high flat, and Gardini can't get there. That's about the only place that block deflection could go that could find the floor, and Lewis got it.
Yeah, Gardini hit the ground
Yeah,
hard.
he did. Set point number 2. Yeah, he's still trying to shake that off. Lewis Keaton Long back to serve. He's come in, given some offense to Lewis. Kept alive. Swing by Bouger. What a smart swing, but just missed it. Boy, that was a quality swing.
It's the right idea.
Absolutely.
It's the right idea. Put it into a deep corner. He just missed it.
Good snap over the top. Really impressed with that swing.
And I think we're going to get a challenge on whether it was in.
Why not?
Yeah, you should.
Absolutely. It's a set point. That's a smart challenge by Dan Friend, the head coach for the Lewis Flyers.
It is the right idea, but he gets a little too much heel on his hand at the point of contact, and that's why this ball goes long. You want to try and chip that thing, and I think that's just why.
I do too. I do too.
Oh, that's going to be so close.
Yeah, so close.
The shadow is in. The ball, I think, is not.
And remember, in order to overturn, you can see the linesman, and it's also right in front of the first referee.
Yeah, they're right on it.
They're right on it. It was called out, and that really looks out. In order to overrule it, the video evidence must be absolutely conclusive.
I don't think I'd be surprised to get a change here.
I would too. I think that ball's just out.
It's excellent positioning from our referee crew and Lions purpose.
Yep, yep. Yeah, I think that ball's out of bounds. And what a quality shot by Bouger.
It's the right idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll it to the corner because I got 3 up in front of me that are big. Probably the worst thing that happens is he comes off the block back to me, or it hits the fingertips like we saw earlier in the night, and it goes long. But he just didn't get enough snap on it. He got too much heel and not enough crisp contact off the hand.
Yeah, a centimeter or 2, we're saying, just wide. It's not a big call, is it?
Well, as is, Lewis, you're still alive.
Yes, yeah.
You're still in good shape.
Yeah, we'll play on. But
you're just in great shape if you get it reversed.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. If the call is reversed, then they're on the board. Yeah, to me, that ball's out of bounds. Yeah. The call is confirmed. We are tied at 25. Look at the official. It was, and that's the right call. A good challenge, and good work by the officiating crew. Good work by our crew, showing all those angles.
Right, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
this is how the system's supposed to work.
Yep, yep. Look who's at the service line.
The wrong guy if you're wearing red and black.
Yep.
And he should let it have it, too. Just get it.
Tough toss, way out in front. Not a good toss.
No, not a good toss. But I like the aggression at that moment. You're up 2-0. Get it.
Third set point for Lewis. Bouger has been excellent. What a pass by Gardini. And right back. Farcia Fenandez found the small seam.
To take it back one play further, Dan Friend was late with that challenge. He may have thrown that challenge in there also because of the person who was at the line. You get a de facto timeout before Gabi serves.
Wow. 3 set point saved. Oh, nice tap down. Boy, that was a creative swing by number 9 in black, Ryan Coonan.
You can't do that if you're not 6'9". You can't do that little snap over the top that way.
4th set point now for Lewis.
At least at that pace, that was a nice swing.
Yep.
Now remember, Mitchum's had problems with his serving. He has a jumper.
Perfect pass by Worthington. Oh, stuff block on the outside. Lewis survives. They win the third, 28-26, and Kevin will play on.
I love it. I love going to the jump serve to try and get the win. I like it at a downward trajectory from there. And Lewis fighting like pugilists from Joliet. I know it's Romeoville, people.
Lewis has lived to play again as they take out BYU 28-26. It took them 4 set points to get there, and they will. The winner of this will get Hawaii on Saturday once again on ESPNU coming away at 8 Eastern time. Back with 2-time Olympian and Pepperdine All-American Kevin Barnett. I'm Paul Sunderland. Boy, really well played. And if you look at the numbers, I mean, BYU was held to only 250 in that 3rd set.
Who's leading in blocks?
I'm not looking. Lewis.
Yeah, by 2.
Wow.
How many blocks does BYU have? 5. How many did they have 3 points into the 3rd set? 5. Their block did nothing. It went back to, all of a sudden it reverted back to the early part of the 1st set for BYU. Yeah, and I was waiting to see how they come out here. Mitchum, he'll still be in the middle. He served and played right back for that last play. And you see Long in there at the opposite now.
I know Worthington handled it pretty well for BYU and Sean Olmstead, but that was a pretty tough serve for Mitchum in that circumstance. That was well done. So, 4th set, and we will start things off with Lewis serving. This is middle blocker TJ Murray. Oh, nice short serve. Good reaction by Worthington. And Eschenberg going off speed. That's some smart play.
Like
by
a game of short court all of a sudden.
Well, that was some pretty smart play.
Hope no one thinks they can push it off the antenna and have it be good.
Yohiainen now back to serve. He's been pretty quiet offensively. Don't go to him a lot. Keaton Long, he's had an impact on this match. Very much so. Good play out of the middle. No question about the touch. We haven't heard from the middles that very nicely done by Felipe Gilberto Ferreira out of Brazil. We haven't mentioned his name. 6'9" senior, hits .451 so far on the year. That was his 5th kill on 6 swings, so not a lot of action, but awfully effective. Service error once again by Garcia. He's got a couple of aces, 5 digs, a couple of blocks, 12 kills on 22 swings, hitting for a nice number. The 2020 National Player of the Year. This year it was Rado Punapanov from the University of Hawaii.
Long there on defense.
Oh, lucky play.
Certainly.
An inadvertent contact out of the middle, and BYU was fooled a little bit. The ball went down.
Everyone was fooled.
Including, yeah, look at that. Oh, that micro paintbrush. It helps to be 6'11". Overpass and thrown straight to the floor. That's off of Stanley. And a quick early lead, and what a turnaround for the Flyers of Lewis.
Well, what's been the spark? You haven't been getting blocked. You haven't been getting aced as much. You put Long in at the opposite position. Kid hasn't played significant time in a month. Got to go back to the Loyola Chicago match to find Long playing. And he's only played in 8 matches this year.
Wow. What a moment. He's been up to it.
He's 4 for 6. Playing defense. Got that huge stuff block.
Farcia Fenandez with a really classy swing. Absolutely bravo for Keaton Long. Wearing number 16 in black for Lewis. Came off the bench in the second set, replacing Cole Brillhart. They're kind of Mr. Do Everything, but they needed some offense. That was a good substitution by Dan Friend. And that ball missed just over the sideline. Flyers continue to lead it 5-3 here in the fourth, trailing 2-1. Talk about adjustments on the BYU side. Do you think after they won 25-15 in the third, maybe a little bit of a letdown in the fourth, or was it just Lewis really raising their level?
I think Lewis found their level for a longer period of time, because we saw them come back in that first set, but they just couldn't sustain it.
Into the middle again, nice offense.
This is interesting too. They're having Mitchum serve and then play right back. Long is playing left back there. Maybe Mitchum is considered a better threat out of that right back position than Long out of the back row.
He's shown a pretty nice arm swing for a middle blocker. He does have some heat on the serve, as does Gilberto Ferreira.
That was a little sticky.
Yeah. not going to call it. Slam dunk. Nicely done.
I don't like it because it changes direction so much in his hands.
Yeah, that's gaining an advantage in my opinion. On the pipe, Eschenberg, number 11 in white, registering his 10th kill. Second BYU Cougar in double figures. That ball just out of bounds. Lewis looking for a touch. And I don't think we're going to have, well, maybe we are. Dan Friend wants to have a look, and he's going to challenge that there was a touch on the block.
You remember when the challenge system was fairly new internationally, and we watched the Brazilian coaches on the women's side get sold down the river by one of their outside hitters on several plays. 3 plays in about a set and a half burned all the challenges because particularly the last one wasn't even close.
Well, it's made volleyball players into.
That might be right off the elbow.
Yeah, maybe.
Now they have cameras that are running separate from ours. They have cameras that are running 120 frames a second. You're usually seeing about 60 frames a second. It's not nearly enough, to my mind, but
no, it's not. It's not enough.
No.
This one looks.
It's going to be the right forearm, if anything, of Farcia Fenandez there.
I don't think there's enough there to overturn it. I don't see, if you're an official, unless they're seeing something decidedly clearer or better than we are, that you can overturn that call. Remember, live, it was called out by the officials, and obviously no touch, and that's what's being challenged.
Well, if George and Lisa Long are not in the stadium, shout out to the parents, hopefully enjoying the performance of their freshman son, who has made a huge difference for Lewis.
Yeah, they'd be in real trouble without him.
Oh, it'd be over.
Yeah. Oh, they got a touch.
There you go. Yeah, see, they have access to other views that we don't have.
Yeah. Good work by the officials. And there you saw the second referee.
Yeah, Keith Merlis just said right there on the forearm.
Right off the elbow. So by my count, Dan Friend and Lewis have 2 challenges remaining. Remember the one that they challenged from Bouger?
Right.
Was just out of bounds. So that was one challenge that was wrong, so they lose it. And BYU has all 3 of their challenges. 7-5, Lewis leading, trailing 2 sets to 1. After a bit of a delay, Coonan back at the line. Oh, that ball was absolutely, that was one of the best swings Gardini's taken in a while. If you're just joining us in our extended coverage of the second semifinal, Davide Gardini, the son of one of the great players of all time, not just for Italy, but in the world, in the history of the game. Andrea Gardini, 3 times a world champion.
And he's worried about foot faulting there. He threw the ball way too far in front of himself, and he knew it. And the key to that is when you do that, you really have to jump forward and you have to snap the ball up a little bit. Both up and with more topspin if you're going to hope. The other strategy is what he did, which is just drive it. And so you try and drive it hard enough that it beats the cable of the net before it comes down. But it's not a good feeling when you know that you put it too far.
Yohiainen with the kill out of the middle, hasn't got a lot of action. A big part of the offensive plan. 8 swings, 6 kills, 1 error. Very, very nice by the 6'9" grad student out of Finland. We should point out that he was given the academic award for the player in the national semifinals with the highest GPA. Off the edge of the block and out of bounds. Eschenberg looking for the touch off the block. Well, now the BYU players, they want a challenge that ball went off of Keaton Long on the way out of bounds.
Well, and they'll get it. And I'm getting clarification from some of our sources here. 120 frames per second for the net camera on the R2 side.
Okay.
But that's it. Everything else is 60 frames a second.
Okay. Which is not
slow.
Enough. Yeah.
So you're looking at a caterpillar.
It got him. Yeah, it got him right on the right hip on the way out of bounds. Right there. You can see the ball clearly change direction. So that's going to be BYU's point and possession. The ball was initially called out of bounds, so we'll have a 2-point switch. BYU got ahead 10-4 in the opening set, won at 25-22. Another big lead in the second set, 10-5, cruised to a 25-15 advantage. Lewis hung in there. They made some changes. They brought in Keaton Long, the freshman out of Plano, Texas. He's had a big impact on this match and involved in this particular play. Lewis, 4 set points to win the 3rd set, must-win situation. And they're now trailing 2-1.
Keaton Long is 6 for 8. He's hitting .625. He has 2 blocks, and that ball was right off of his hip. But here's a kid that you have no scouting on.
Right.
0.
Interesting.
You never even thought he was going to play. He
right.
was not listed. So there's something to be said for throwing somebody in there that the other team has no idea what to do with, and you test the ability of BYU to adjust in the moment.
Bouger again, high up into the block and out of bounds. What a good match he is having. Kyle Bouger, 6'5" senior out of California, hit .308 on the year. On the night now, 7 of 19.
We're back to that torrid offense. 778 for BYU and 625 for Lewis in this set.
And that ball missed well long, and we're tied at 9. And I had the sense that Bouger was having a little more of a productive night, but he's got those 4 errors that is bringing down his efficiency. Not sure.
Oh, well, we have Maybe a little blood here. Quick cleanup.
Yeah, I was
for
wondering. I was wondering what the delay was, and we'll have a little patchwork on Ryan Coonan, the back-to-back first-team All-American. Had a wonderful collegiate career and most likely has a very, very bright future playing professionally and possibly for the United States. Yeah, I think if you're a Lewis fan, you're hoping it was just a cut, and I think it was, because there was not. Usually, if you really damage something, you tape a couple fingers together, but that was very, very light indeed. Farcia Fenandez has been pretty quiet from the service line of late, and again misses again. It seems to be something, Kevin, that BYU is really missing. Their service pressure, to my mind, has really dropped.
Yeah, they've been unable to kind of put the screws to Lewis as the way they did in the first and second sets. And Lewis, you can feel them gaining some confidence here.
They should win at 28-26, and now they're going toe-to-toe with the second seeds and playing a very high level of volleyball. And that ball is missed out of bounds. 11-9 is the lead. Garcia with his 5th hitting error on 25 swings. He's got 13 kills to lead the way. Gardini with 10, Eschenberg with 10, and both middle blockers with 6 apiece. Lewis got out to a very bad start serving. Remember, they had 9 service errors in the opening set. They've only had 8 since. Oh, what a block. That's a phase of the game that's been pretty quiet, but nothing quiet about that. Gabi Ferreira just roofing that ball.
Yeah, all by himself. He's getting full credit for that one.
That was a pretty good read, because there was a lot going on, Kevin, and he was on an island. Tied at 11. And that should be a lift. Yeah, no question, that's going to be a lift. Good block again by BYU.
And Will Stanley at 6'4". We've seen him multiple times in this match. It is not a mismatch when he's up there with near anybody.
Ninth stuff block now for the Cougars of Brigham Young. Ball set pretty tight. We got Mitchum hitting out on the right side. Good cover. Oh, what a smart shot. Really good volleyball. Smart volleyball by BYU.
Yeah, the cover is the biggest play in that entire rally. The tip is nice, but it's not possible without the cover by Ferreira. Right there.
Number 6.
Middle doing his job.
Yep. Gabi Ferreira, 3 blockers up. There's got to be some open floor somewhere, and Gabi Farcia Fenandez finds it. We'll step aside. 4th set, BYU back on top, 13-11. Looking to close it out and move on to the finals. BYU, the number 2 overall seed in the tournament, back to their very efficient ways offensively. Kevin Barnett here in the 4th set. 8 of 12, hit 583. The Flyers just 6 of 11, hitting 273. BYU has clawed back to take the 13-11 lead. Eschenberg back at the line.
So a critical moment for Lewis, just not to let the momentum get away from them. And same kind of thing. Their fans are now up and making some noise. It's a good competition between the fans, providing some atmosphere, and also the benches. They've had to carry it all year. All these benches, talked a lot about the UC Santa Barbara bench and that bench mob. It has been true for everyone. You're playing in these empty gyms, your bench has to be even more active than normal.
And Mitchum misses that ball out of bounds. Tyler Mitchum, 9 of 17 after having a really big match preceding this, when he was 14 of 20 when Lewis took out Penn State.
BYU has 3 players in double figures. Mitchum's going to get there. Just a matter of time in this 4th set.
De Brito Ferreira. Good contact. Back to Kunin. What a nice swing. See that tape, Kevin, on his right finger. I think it was just a slight cut. Easy for me to say, but certainly no ill effects, and good news for the Flyers, trailing by 1.
Into the campfire.
Yeah, that's a good spot to tip. Mikki Johainen. Very efficient. That's 7 kills now on 10 swings.
So this should be the rotation where they score. Will Stanley's jump serve plus your 2 best hitters in the front row.
Well handled by Bouger, and a good response. TJ Murray coming right down the middle for the Flyers. And the Flyers cannot track that one down. In rotation, row number 1, Farcia Fenandez registers his 15th kill. Side out battle between these 2 offenses. The advantage, at least for now, to BYU. On the pipe, that ball was out. Didn't you see it out, Kevin?
I had it in.
You did? Okay.
But you know the barn eye, notoriously bad.
I was about to bring up the barn eye. Look, my eyes are a few months older than yours. I saw that ball clearly out. Clearly out.
Not sure how you define the word few, but yes, we'll get a challenge, so we'll have a definitive ruling.
Yeah, we will indeed. Good looking play. Back row quick combination on the big. The ball was called out of bounds. Very close, otherwise it wouldn't be challenged, but live,
well,
it
let's
was,
slow it down here.
Yeah, it was called out. That ball's out.
Oh, that is so close. That is so close.
Well, remember Keith Merlis before signaling a couple of millimeters on a play previously in this match, missed by Bouger. Yeah, this one is, wow, that's really close. And of course, the only definitive angle is the one where the camera is right on the end line. And so maybe the officials are looking at that one.
Now you freeze that one, it looks in. The other one, it looks out.
Right, but you know what I'm saying.
I agree with you.
You got to have a camera right on the end line.
Well, since we don't have that, we have this angle and the reverse angle, and I think that from there, it looks in.
Yeah.
From the other view we saw on the side, it looks out.
Well,
or at least so close that you wouldn't be able to change it.
Yeah, it has to be definitive. Not 99%. That's not good enough. Got to be 100% convinced that any part of the ball caught some part of the line.
Right, we don't have the Hawkeye where you would have the depression dimple of the ball. Is that Al Skates texting you again?
No.
You have to love the volleyball community. I've heard from coaches that between them have, I don't know, 50 conference titles and 20-something
Al has
national
19
titles.
National championships. Your head coach, Marv Dunphy, has 4 or 5. Has 4 because Rod had 1.
I was talking about people we've actually heard from during this match. I have another coach I've heard from who has 20-something conference titles and a couple national titles.
And who was that?
Mr. Mark Pavlik.
Oh, right. Done a fabulous job over many years at Penn State. Penn State was the first team other than a West Coast team to win a national championship back in the 90s, and the call was confirmed. See, I told you. It's just these
Point for Sunderland.
years of experience and
No, a few extra months of experience.
There you go. and a new prescription. But that's a huge call. Huge call.
I'll be at LensCrafters tomorrow.
17,
the day off.
14. The Barn Eye suffers once again.
Another defeat. The Barn Eye is not making playoffs.
That was a good-looking play for Lewis, and that swing by Kunin, just a couple of millimeters long. How will they respond? Got to get out of this rotation. Back to Bouger. Oh, that's a good swing. Boy, what good ball control by the attacker. Bouger now with 8 kills on 20 swings, and that was one of the best. Alec Leonard on the floor, 6'8", 200-pound redshirt sophomore. He had seen him previously out of Lake Grove, New York. And missed it just out of bounds.
I had it in. Just kidding. I was out.
I'll tell you what, the Lions people, they've been on it. They are working hard. The speed with which the ball travels, it is a real challenge. Sorry for the redundancy, but Gilhiainen now on to serve. BYU with might be their largest lead of this 4th set, and that one sails well long, making it 18-16. Keaton Long now back to the line, freshman out of Texas who's come on and really given Lewis a lift. We've mentioned it since let's give you his numbers. Long now 5 of 8. He's got a couple of digs and a couple of blocks. Oh, that's just a magnificent rip.
That's fun to watch.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of Lewis, or if you're on the Lewis side, that's one of those where you have to recognize the greatness of your opponent. Nice job. We'll be siding out now.
I mean, that was just a magnificent swing. Over the top of the block. No defense for that one. Good pass. What a good pass. And looking for some hands, and Eschenberg missed that wildly down the line.
Yeah, that's costly because you had your best server at the line.
Yeah.
We've had some misses from Gabi from the line. I noticed that time he went back, did not waste time. He switched up his routine a little bit, just went faster and went and got the ball. He didn't think about it, nothing, just attacked it. I like the switch in strategy with his approach.
Lewis trailing by only 2. Gardini's passing the ball very well. Jimenez, good contact and leaving it into the middle. Tyler Mitchum with the kill. Bourget's been pretty good at the line. He does have 1 ace, but he's been putting on some pretty consistent pressure. Eschenberg again, passing and hitting. Really nice play by number 11 in white. BYU siding out, maintaining the slightest bit of separation now at 2, 20-18. Kunin, tough swing, going off speed, roll shot. Worthington's got it. Big chance here for BYU. Garcia demanding the ball, going off speed again. What a play that time by Keaton Long. Point of the match so far. Nice dig by Bouger. And right on the sideline. Wow, what a point by both teams.
Reminiscent of the earlier match as well. Huge point at a big moment.
How did
Interesting choice here, too, to set.
Yeah.
You have the libero setting the bic or pipe.
Against 3 blockers and still found the slightest bit of real estate outside the block. What a quality swing.
And because it was a quality swing, reached high, snapped the ball, didn't put full steam on it, but about 70% to the edge of the court.
20-19. That was the point of the match so far. And it gets Lewis right back in it. Again, facing another must-win set situation. Oh, and Mitchum, that never looked good. He looked unsettled and missed that serve, not even close. He has had a superb match, a superb season, career, and tournament. Would like to have that one back. John Stanley on to serve. Overpass. Gardini finds a small hole. 3 big blockers in front of him and still found the floor.
What a save for Gardini off that overpass. Failed to put that away. Almost got hung on the rim. Pushed back down. Spun around. How about the footwork?
Yeah, timeout is called by Lewis. I was a little surprised that the set went to Gardini. Maybe there weren't any choices. But man, that was really, really a tough play as he was in there at the joust with Kevin. Second semifinal of the 2021 NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship. The woman to your right, Heather Olmstead, the women's head coach at BYU, and of course, sister to Sean. John Stanley on to serve. BYU leading by 3.
Yeah, she's right up above the bench.
Yelling instructions to her brother, who used to coach the women, and very successfully. Another joust coming. Free ball for BYU.
Oh, that was the right set.
Oh, what a good pokey save. How can Lewis let that ball drop? Keaton Long just fisted that ball up on a difficult chance, and now BYU 2 points away from getting to the finals against Hawaii.
I'll tell you how, because that ball got passed to the left side, and the setter is all the way to the right. So everyone's expecting the setter to get the ball. No one's expecting it to go there, and that is very similar to on serve reception when the ball is passed to the left front. There's just nobody there.
A block, big block out of the middle by Yohiainen. And BYU 1 point away, and they will have 5 match points for a chance at the championship. They've won this title 3 times, 1999, 2001, and 2004. Their last 2 trips to the championship were unsuccessful in 16 and 17. Tough serve. This could about do it, and that's going to be a net violation. Wow.
Well, the switch up from John Stanley, jump float, and then hybrid to the spin, and ripped it, got the overpass.
Wow.
He did everything that was asked of him there. What a trip from number 4.
Match point number 2 for the Cougars. And served out of bounds on a jump float. What an ending, and BYU is moving on.
Two things. You have to be proud of Lewis and the way they responded after the start of this match. After the first 2 sets, and even in the middle of that first set, the way that team responded for Dan Friend and for one another was impressive. Number 2, for BYU, you have to be impressed with their level of play overall. They let it slip a little bit in that 3rd set. They didn't generate the same amount of pressure, but they showed you why they have been the #1 team in the MPSF. And why there was a question about number 1 or number 2 coming into this tournament, them or Hawaii. I think we're getting the 2 best teams in the final. It's going to be an exceptional night on Saturday night. Tune in.
What a matchup. And when you look at the final stats, BYU finishes with 8 blocks. Gabi Farcia Fenandez with 17 kills. BYU hits 354, and they will move on to play in the championship, 8 Eastern time on ESPNU. We knew this was going to be a good one, and it turned out to be exactly that, and expect even more on Saturday when BYU, the number 2 seed, takes on the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii, the number 1 seeds. That will be what a matchup. There are some arms, there are some weapons. Who will come out on top of that? Well, join us on Saturday on ESPNU at 8 Eastern time. For Kevin Barnett, I'm Paul Sunderland. Thanks for joining us on NCAA.com.